So yesterday we had ourselves a setback. Christine was draining the oil on the transmission and found, I suppose we lost that now, right? The pieces. It doesn't matter. It appears to me to be a spring to hold those little shoes in the synchronizer assembly. So we decided we better take it apart. We're going all the way to the coast with it, and we're just, I don't want to take it apart. We shopped around a little bit for a used one, but it's 1961, so you get a used one, and you're going to get something you probably should take apart anyway. But we have it up here on the workbench, and we'll time lapse it. I've never had one of these apart. I've rebuilt a lot of transmissions before, so you got a pretty good idea of how things work in there. But you'll see me struggle a little bit here and there trying to get it apart. Just never had one apart. Let's everybody cross our fingers that this spring just gave up and fell out, and that's our only issue. The oil was really, really filthy, but like I told Christine earlier, I cleaned this gear reduction box up and put new gaskets in it, and it had a bunch of sludge at the bottom too. So I think that's just the nature of the old oil, and then sitting that long, all of a sudden it goes to the bottom. There's some oil right here you can see. It seems like even back then, what they considered clean oil is dirty oil to us. So we'll get it apart, and hopefully we can figure out what's going on here. What I'm really hoping is that this comes off and this comes off. No problem from this end. And our synchro, our fourth synchronizer is right here. So I'm really hoping that we just see a spring broken there. Then I can get in there and look around a little bit and put it back together. Just something we're not, the bus only has 40,000 miles on it, so there shouldn't be a lot of wear in here. Everything else that we've taken apart has been spot on nice. And honestly, even the engine still turned after sitting 50 years. We could still move it. It had, resistance, but we just had another engine, so that's what we're going to put in. But I honestly think that engine would run again. But we'll go time lapse, and like I said, you're going to see me struggle trying to get this thing apart. I'm going to scratch my head. I'm probably going to look at some videos, but we'll get it apart, and we'll see what's broken. Let you know. In my lifetime, I lived through the whole Ford L60E thing that the internet's making fun of all the time on the GM transmission. So my kids' bills were paid by raising children was paid by Ford L60Es. This is obviously a manual transmission, so it's nothing like that, but manual transmissions are generally easier to work on. They don't really have, like, each company doesn't really have their own idea of how a manual transmission should work. These are configured a little different because you have an input shaft coming up here, and then your counter shaft is here on the bottom, just driving a pinion, and then your ring gear is in here. Whichever side, I guess, I'm not sure which side the ring gear is on right now, but apparently that's how you can reverse the rotation. Like this bus transmission has these gear reduction boxes on them. So the output from the ring gear, well, the ring gear spins the opposite way of a bug in this transmission. But from what I understand, you can just flip it over. You can you could make a drive the other off the other side. But we won't be doing any of that. Well, we got the business side of the transmission apart here. Some of the weird things that I'm going to call them weird, is the shift linkage adjusts just with these pinch bolts. So I can loosen this bolt, slide that back 1/16 of an inch, and then we'd have an issue getting it into reverse. So all of these have to be, I think what I'll do is I'll measure them with caliper to the end here, and then we'll write it down so we can duplicate everything again, because obviously it was shifting correctly before. But for us to be able to, we're gonna have to take all of this apart, and I want to make sure we get it back exactly the way it was. Wow, huh? We got ourselves a project here. This appears to be the pinion depth shim. Yeah, there's a small one behind there. So that is a selective shim, and this thickness is the setting for the ring gear touching the pinion. So since we have this all together, we're not worried about it. If we were changing ring of pinion, then we'd have something to worry about. This pinion looks, there's somewhere on it, but it looks pretty good, I think. So we need to get inside of here. We have a synchronizer slider assembly right here. So our spring either came out of here or it came out of this one back here. So we got to get this all apart to see where it came from. Probably, well, I'm just going to take it all apart. We're this far, so there's no sense in half-assing it at this point. Something that we found out accidentally, which really got me thinking about these German engineers. This is the input shaft that goes through here, hooks onto the clutch out there, comes through the case, splines onto here. Well, this shaft is threaded and there's a stud between them. And I couldn't get it apart, I didn't know what was going on, but I was spinning it like this just because I was checking to see if it was one piece. And I got lucky enough that I spun it enough that we only had like one thread left, and I got a pry bar, and then I pulled it off, and we pulled one thread out of there. So sometimes you got to get lucky. All of this stuff looks pretty good. I don't think we have any issues. We're not going to have any bearing issues. Gears look fine. We'll I think this is best case Ontario. I think we're gonna find that spring missing here. We're gonna order one, order a gasket kit, get this all cleaned up and looking good, put new lube in it, and head to the coast. But like I said, for now, I'm gonna take my caliper and measure the depth. I guess we don't have to write them down because we'll have them on video, but we'll take this, lay this across here flat, run this down till it touches that. So that is our measurement. So we can go back in. That's inch, or that's eighth of an inch. 125 is an eighth of an inch, but obviously we're going to get it right. Measure it in a few places and get, yeah. Yeah, 133 thou. Yep. And then we can do the same thing on this guy down here. Am I on it? Right there, right? 50 thousandths. There's one here that doesn't appear to be adjustable. I think that just threads in. That's a reverse gear. So, but these two are first and second, third and fourth. So those adjustments are very important. I don't know if I get these out of the way. I don't know what's holding these bearings in here, but there's a chance that they'll just push right through, which would be ideal for us, because then I won't even take them apart unless I need to get it apart to get at that synchronizer. Brass hammer. I don't know what to do with my brass hammer.
Did it fall on the floor when we were Oh, yeah.
It's a little play there, so we're probably safe to tap on that a little bit. Okay, so that is not moving. We'll have to get some end play there, right? So the end play will be taken up by this. Once this is where our selective shim is. So once that's tightened up against the case, then this play will be gone. So I guess we're gonna take the nuts off. We're gonna take these bolts loose. You have that on camera, right? We're not gonna lose our measurements. That's 50, that's 133. And this one's non-adjustable. All right, we're gonna get after it. So it appears that this just presses off of there. Wish I could see inside there if the spring is in there. Well, I should be able to if I pull this off, pull one of these out. Yeah, there's one in there.
That one's good.
Yep, right there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm starting to feel like if it's, that I'm gonna be good and pissed if they're in here on every one of them.
Right.
Because that means we took all this shit apart for nothing. But where would that wire have come from?
Right. Yeah, because there was 3 or 4 pieces we pulled out, right?
Yeah. This fork is worn quite a bit. So we might end up trying to find this fork or You can see the groove that it's got cut in it. Like way out here where it's dirty is what it originally would have been. You can see a step right there. I guess that's not a bunch, but it, I mean, it really seems like, do you remember which plug it came out of? This is the,
Came out of this one.
this one?
Yep. Came out towards the one closest to the engine.
Why didn't I take that into account?
I don't know.
Because that's the differential side.
What's this right here?
Are you kidding me?
That's what it looked like.
The safety wire is broken.
So what's that? It just keeps it from turning? Or what?
Yeah. Well, this bolt's broke off, see?
Oh, shit.
But that's just the safety wire.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, but it seemed like there was something else though too. Remember, it was a little bit thicker piece.
It's this. Well, the fucking head of that nut is somewhere
Oh,
in
yeah.
that muck, I bet. Well, I'm glad we got it in. I'm glad we took it apart because this wasn't going to be okay.
Right.
But an hour ago, I had this out. We're still doing it the right way. We're going to get new seals and new.
Right.
But you need a bolt and some wire and a gasket set, and we're good.
Okay.
So I'll get all this stuff to other shop. We have a big dishwasher, big engine cooker. So we'll put all that shit in there and we'll get it all cleaned up, and then she'll get a bolt. Hopefully that comes out okay.
I wonder how that got broke off.
Probably over torqued.
Oh, we got it right out.
So you'll have to look up a ring gear bolt. Might as well get a set of them because if that one broke, the others might. But yeah, now would be the time to change gear ratio if we could afford it, but we can't. I just hope I can get it all back together now without any other issues. There's no sense of taking that apart now.
No.
I think I don't think we found what it was. It's 100% what it was.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
100%. Okay, well that's our video for today. I think I'll probably do a video when we put it back together too. This stuff will all be cleaned up, and hopefully I will struggle a little bit less putting it together. But it's with anything that you do for the, this is the first one I've had apart, so you're gonna learn some stuff along the way. I always say it's stuff that I didn't want to know, but the experience always helps. There might be another day where I'm like, wow, how come this shaft won't come apart? You don't suppose it's got a stud between them, and that's where we're at. So we'll get a seal kit. We'll get ring gear bolts. We'll safety wire them back on, and we'll put it back together. We need to
That's the
replace the
plan.
boots. We needed to rebuild the gear reduction boxes and everything. So can you tell that I'm talking myself into being okay with taking this whole damn thing apart over this piece of wire?
Mm-hmm.